Lesson 106. Adverbs of frequency. Frequency. Give me some examples of adverbs of frequency.
Some examples of adverbs of frequency are never, rarely, occasionally, sometimes, often, usually, and always.
Where do these adverbs normally go?
These adverbs normally go after the first auxiliary verb.
Give me an example, please.
We had never seen that film before it was shown on television.
Put the word usually in this sentence, please. She can answer his questions.
She can usually answer his questions.
Put the word always in this sentence, please. We spend the Christmas holidays with our family.
We always spend the Christmas holidays with our family.
Put the word often in this sentence, please. They don't go swimming.
They don't often go swimming.
Put the word also in this sentence, please. You must study in class and you must practice your English outside the lesson.
You must study in class and you must also practice your English outside the lesson.
Put the word even in this sentence, please. I can't boil an egg.
I can't even boil an egg.
Oil. How can oil be transported from one part of a country to another?
Oil can be transported from one part of a country to another on lorries or through very big pipes.
Is oil used a lot in cooking in your country?
Yes, oil's used a lot in cooking in my country.
Heat. Radiator. Central heating. What is the verb and the noun for the adjective hot?
The verb and the noun for the adjective hot is heat.
Do you prefer the heat of the summer rather than the cold of the winter?
No, I don't prefer the heat of the summer rather than the cold of the winter.
Why not?
Because I feel more alive in the cold.
How is this room heated?
This room is heated by radiators, gas fires, electric fires, etc.
In your country, which is cheaper, central heating or electric fires?
In my country, central heating is cheaper than electric fires.
Lack. Sufficient. Credit. When you lack sufficient money to buy something, do you wait and save the money, or do you buy it on credit?
When I lack sufficient money to buy something, I wait and save the money.
Why?
Because I don't like being in debt.
What do you think your town is lacking in more than anything else?
I think my town is lacking in parks more than anything else.
Is there a serious lack of food in some countries in the world?
Yes, there's a serious lack of food in some countries in the world.
Neighbour. Next door neighbour. Neighbouring. Neighbourhood. Get on well or get along well. Who's your neighbour in this classroom?
My neighbour in this classroom is...
Why do you think it is that some people just don't get on well with their next-door neighbours?
I think the reason that some people just don't get on well with their next-door neighbours is that we can choose our friends, but cannot choose our neighbours.
Do you ever go to a neighbouring town to do some shopping?
Yes, I sometimes go to a neighbouring town to do some shopping.
Why?
Because I like the things they have there.
Which do you think is the most pleasant neighbourhood in this town?
I think Richmond is the most pleasant neighbourhood in this town.
Are there quite a few shops in the neighbourhood of this school?
Yes, there are quite a few shops in the neighbourhood of this school.
Bible. What's the name of the holy book for Christians?
The name of the holy book for Christians is the Bible.
March. Order. Tiring. Why do soldiers march?
Soldiers march because marching helps maintain order, and also because it's faster and less tiring.
Bloody. Which do you think was the bloodiest battle in history?
I think the Battle of the Somme was the bloodiest battle in history.
Wicked. Who do you think is the most wicked person alive today?
I think is the most wicked person alive today.
Importance. Do you think parents should teach their children about the importance of being honest?
Yes, I think parents should teach their children about the importance of being honest.
Anymore. What do you do with clothes that you don't wear anymore?
I give away clothes that I don't wear anymore.
Faithful. Are dogs very faithful to their owners?
Yes, dogs are very faithful to their owners.
Plain. A taste for. Is it easier to grow food on a plain than on a mountain?
Yes, it's easier to grow food on a plain than on a mountain.
Why?
Because the earth on a plain is usually deeper and richer.
Was food 1,000 years ago generally plainer than it is now?
Yes, food 1,000 years ago was generally plainer than it is now.
Do you have more of a taste for plain clothes or for colourful clothes?
I have more of a taste for colourful clothes.
What kind of work does a plainclothes policeman do?
A plainclothes policeman does detective work, the kind of work a policeman in uniform could not do because he would be too noticeable.
Would you like to be a plainclothes policeman?
Yes, I'd like to be a plainclothes policeman.
Do you think life is easier when people speak plainly to each other? That is, speak openly, directly, and honestly to each other?
Yes, I think life is easier when people speak plainly to each other. That is, speak openly, directly, and honestly to each other.
Ring, rang, rung. Ring up. Doorbell. Pick up. Ring. What do you do when you arrive at somebody's house to pay a visit?
When I arrive at somebody's house to pay a visit, I ring the doorbell.
What do we do when the telephone rings?
When the telephone rings, we pick it up and answer it.
What are the 3 forms of ring?
The 3 forms of ring are ring, rang, rung.
If someone rang you while you were busy talking to another person, would you answer the call?
No, if someone rang me while I was busy talking to another person, I wouldn't answer the call.
What number do we ring in order to call the police?
We ring 999 in this country in order to call the police.
Have you ever rung someone up without realizing how late it was and accidentally woken them up?
Yes, I've sometimes rung someone up without realizing how late it was and accidentally woken them up.
When people are married, which hand and finger do they wear their wedding rings on?
When people are married, they wear their wedding rings on the ring finger of their left hand.
Idiom 7. Round the bend. Equals mad. What does the idiom round the bend mean?
The idiom round the bend means mad.
Give me an example, please.
All this work is driving me round the bend.